Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining me. So what I want to do briefly is just jump into the risk management, right? So how do we proactively manage risks on our project? I think it's critical, and I think the first thing you're going to do is come up with a risk management plan. And what I've done here is I've already documented the purposes behind that plan. So everyone says, hey, why do we need a risk management plan? Let's just go to risk log. And I don't think that's the case. I think you really do need to have an issue or a risk management plan. And so what I think is, here are the components and the purpose, right? Identification, appraisal, management, and the control. And where do you focus on? What are your focusing points? Reduction of threats, adverse outcomes, right? Eliminate any potential or litigation and safety issues. So when we think about building a risk management plan, we got to have a defined purpose, and we got to make sure everyone's tracking to that purpose. Okay, let's spend a minute now and look at the risk management purpose. So what is the purpose of a risk management plan? Now, what goes in it, right? Well, what I've done is I've documented 8 components of what goes in a risk management plan. Okay, so now let's look at the steps of a risk management plan. And again, risks are potential. They may not occur, but I think you have to have a process. I think you have to have a structure. And what I've done is I've documented these 8 steps, and I think these 8 steps will really help you be more proactive in driving your risks, right? And again, you're going to do planning, right? How are we going to plan our risks? We're going to do an identification. How do we identify our risks on our project? What are the processes and procedures? Then we're going to do qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis, right? Very different, but you're going to document that in your risk management plan and the steps to which you handle and how you drive risks on your project. Okay, let's look again at the 8 risk management steps. Right? Then you'll go into risk response planning, right? And so how do we respond to these, right? And then you'll go into risk monitoring. How do you monitor the risks on your project? Right? So these are the steps that you're going to go through as you go through this process. Then we'll talk about response strategy, right? Not every risk has the same strategy. What are the response strategies that you're going to capture? And then how do you actually respond? So you'll put a strategy out that every risk, some will be mitigated, some will be, right? Some will be deferred, right? And there's multiple strategies. PMI's done a great job documenting that, but you need to outline those strategies and how you're going to approach that. And then finally, risk closeout and lessons learned. There's always a good process, and you need a process to closing out your risks. So I think that's critical. And then I also think you want to put lessons learned so you can prevent future risks on your same project and on future projects. Okay, let's have one last look. I know it was a little hard to see because of the lighting of the screen, so I want to make sure you guys are seeing these steps, but let's have one last look at the risk management steps. Thanks. So these are the 8 steps that I use and from really that risk management process, and I think they're really critical, and I think you need to follow those as well. And I really believe that these 8 steps will give you that proactive and that great view of driving through your project. I've got a risk management that goes in much more detail. I just kind of want to highlight these and make sure we're all tracking on what are the steps to managing risks on your project, because I think that's a key component and just something I strongly believe is an important part of project management. So definitely have a look, like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you manage risks. And definitely subscribe to my channel because more information is always coming. I'm super excited about delivering this. My name is Bill Dow. Thank you all very much.